Good afternoon, pirates and treasure hunters. My name is Greg. Welcome to Life's a Treasure. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I've been using a Minelab CTX 3030 for quite some time. I love the 3030. It's a great machine, but let's face it, I'm not getting any younger. At 51 years old, I'm starting to really feel a lot of my little aches and pains from a lifetime of adventure. And let's face it, the CTX, it's kind of heavy. In fact, it might be the heaviest detector on the market. I don't know. Even wearing the swingy thingy or whatever they call it, it just gets to be too much on my arm, too much on my back. And I'm excited about getting a lighter machine that I can swing for hours on end without having those issues. Another issue I've been having with the CTX lately is that anytime I go into the water, even if the waves are just going over the coil, it's giving me a lot of false signals. It's chattering a lot. I'm not real sure what's going on with it. Could just be the settings. I'm sure I can go into the settings menu and fix it. But you know what? I think I'm just ready for the new and improved. There were two main top tier machines I was looking at, the Minelab Manticore and the XP Deus 2. There are two main reasons I chose the Deus 2 over the Manticore, even though the Manticore is less expensive. The first is that the Deus 2 is arguably the lightest top tier machine on the market. That's going to allow me to swing the coil for hours and hours and hours without any issues. The second main reason, and this is one I'm actually really excited about, is this machine is scalable. What I mean by that is because of all of the different options available with this detector, it can be very quickly converted between different coils, different headphones, transitioned from a land unit to a water unit, or even using it diving. You can get the 2-box unit for it, the Extreme Hunter, and go relic hunting for deeper targets. All right, let's get to the fun part. Let's open this. Oh.
It's beautiful.
Okay, little bag of stuff. We'll get to that later. Another little bag of stuff. Also get to that later. We've got our RC. This is our remote. Upper shaft, and something I like about this is the way the cam locks work. Ooh. Cam lock on my CTX, not working so well these days. Lower shaft, which just slides into the upper shaft. Easy day. Got our books. This one is in French, so we're not going to need that one because we don't speak French. This is our program guide, and here is our owner's manual. Moving on, we've got the WS6 headphones, fully wireless with the puck attachment, which can be used in place of the RC unit. And I decided to go with the 11-inch coil because I'm used to using a bigger coil on the CTX, so I wanted to go a little bit bigger than stock so I can get a little more depth with this. So we'll get the box out of the way, talk a little bit more about what we've got going on. Okay, as you can imagine, when this is put together, it's still very compact. You got your coil, goes there. You can easily fit this into a backpack, maybe a small Pelican case or something. You got your RC unit, which if you're going to use this in the water, you need to use the RC unit with the red plug in it. You've got your WS6, and now this is something I was thinking about last night, and this is awesome. And if you need a reason to justify getting this machine to anybody, even yourself, here's a good one. Since I have 2 control units, if I simply bought another coil, let's say I get the HF2 coil or the 9-inch coil, or I just get a coil that's going to be specifically for using underwater and the other one is specifically for using on land, get another lower shaft and another upper shaft, you essentially have 2 detectors. By buying another coil, another upper shaft, another lower shaft, you've got 2 control units already. So you've now got 2 detectors. And I'm really thinking about doing that so that I have one specifically for land use and one specifically for water use. And then the one that I use for land use, I could very easily remove the lower shaft with the coil and get the 2-box unit, put the 2-box unit into it with my controller, and now I can go searching for extremely deep targets.
Look at you being all crafty.
I don't know what else there is to say. This thing is great. There's a lot. There's so much more. There is so much more. This thing is so programmable. All the different programs. I'm not even done. Like, I looked through the book and I've watched other videos just to learn more about it. I've watched XP's videos that they put out. And this is an absolutely amazing machine. I can't wait to get out. Why am I talking to you? Let's get this thing charged up and get to the beach. We have the new Deus 2. We're gonna do our initial first test with it here at Lori Wilson Park in the beautiful and touristy Cocoa Beach area of Florida. I decided to go with the wired option. Reason being, I wanna go in the water. Historically, I've always done better water hunting than land hunting, so I really want to take it in the water. I will also mess around in the dry sand and at the water's edge in the wet sand. And I did bring with me some practice targets, the quadfecta of coins, a very thin chain, which these are supposed to be great at finding, a little bit thicker bracelet, a silver ring, and some gold. Okay, so one of the things I figured out with this machine, now, so I'm using the Deus 2. I've got the Gray Ghost Amphibian, or Amphibious, I think it's Amphibian 2 headphones. Okay, now when you use these, you're supposed to turn it on to the bone phone mode for the machine to be able to use these headphones. But I figured out through trial and error is that if you put the machine on external speaker, not only will you hear through the headphones, but you'll also hear through the external speaker. So I left that on so that you can hear that at home as well. And here's all my little items I brought. So we're gonna start, we'll start with the quadfecta of modern coins, and then we'll get some of this other stuff out there. I wanna put them out without burying them because I wanna be able to see them on the surface so we can see how close together they are. So, quarter, nickel, dime, nickel. All right. Not bad. I'm what, about a foot over them? And it's picking them up. Nice. Okay. So let's do just the quarter. Coming up real high. Everything from what I've read and just from air tests at home, it appears that most of your good targets on this machine are going to be really, really high. This goes from like 1 all the way to 99, I believe. And like that quarter just registered as a 92. So all of your high tones are going to be your stuff that is going to be worth digging. Penny is coming up around an 80. I think my scoop might be too close. $92. So let's try nickel. Definitely a lower sounding tone, coming up around a 62. Get our dime. About a solid 88. And our penny, about an 83. Next, let's do a silver ring. Oh, wow. See how easily? That is crazy. Very easy to lose this stuff. Okay. Silver ring. Solid signal. And you know, it doesn't do the double blip like you usually get with rings on a lot of other machines. It's just solid, right across. A foot above it, still getting it. Coming up as about a 90. I guess I should mention that I am using the beach sensitivity program. The factory default setting for beach sensitivity is, I believe, program 12. I just want to get some targets, see what they come up as, and then go do some hunting. Okay, our next piece, this is costume jewelry, but this machine is supposed to be really great at finding thin chains. That's what we got, nice thin chain. Let's give it a look. You know what, I want to stretch it out. Really see what it'll do. Yep, about a 67. It's moving around a little bit, but it's probably because of this charm that's on there. Space nugget. I find a lot of those on Treasure Coast. So let's just see what that comes up as. I can't even see it. About a 70, about the same as that chain. Okay, and then I have another one. This is a space nugget that I found with the CTX, and it was ringing up in the gold range because it's probably a different alloy than the other space nugget. So let's give that one a try. All right, so that's the lowest sounding target I've had so far. All right, that concludes that test. Let's go hunt down by the water.
Our test.
See what we get in the wet. I have not had one target besides the stuff I brought with me. Now, granted, we haven't been here very long and we're running out of daylight and we've got storm clouds coming because it's Florida and it's like 7 p.m. So I am going to toss, oh, let's do the silver ring into, I got about an 8-inch hole, I guess, about 8 inches.
Ah, yes, aerated dirt.
It's sand. She's loving my forensics class. Aerated dirt. Oh yeah, that's solid. That's... It's picking it up, so I guess I just haven't put it over any legit targets yet.
Now let's see if you can find it. I think I see it.
I'm gonna call it a win. I mean, the machine is working, it's working very well. I just haven't actually put it over top of any legit targets. If we don't find anything today, so be it. The whole point was come out, use the
Big lightning.
Oh. Come out, use the detector, give it an initial try. I'm definitely gonna have to learn more about it. I'm not much for the chattering, So we'll look into whether or not that can be, you know, taken care of, or if it's just something I'm gonna have to live with.
How's your back feel?
Do I have a back? I have one. This thing is super light. Oh my God, this ridiculously light. Wow. No more. I don't need the swingy thingy anymore. I think I can probably swing this thing for hours and hours and hours and not have an issue. Now it's not going to do anything for my foot, but you know, I should get better at landing the parachute. Oh wait, I don't even bother anymore because, well, I don't wanna. I think the days of Hoo-yah might be, some of that Hoo-yah stuff might be past me, and skydiving is one of those things that I think it's just done. So, all right, let's see what else we can
I
find.
think he found something. Maybe. We'll hope.
Did I just find a penny?
Oh, you found a penny!
I can't see it. Is that what it is?
I don't know, I can't tell. It's
Yeah, I
too
believe
dark.
it is. All right, first legit target with the D2, a penny. That's okay. You know what I haven't found? Any trash. Not one bottle cap, not one pull tab, no can slaw. I don't know if that's just because I haven't run across any. I think this thing is supposed to discriminate out bottle caps. So that's pretty awesome because I've dug a lot of bottle caps in my day. Okay, so
Yes.
I love the new detector. There are some things that, you know, I'm not sure about the chattering. We got to work on that. And I wish the screen, well, we can talk about the screen later,
let's
but
talk about it later.
it's got another function where it'll like show you the numbers much bigger on the screen. All right, let's get out of here.